Well, our Minnesota Vikings suffered a tough loss today against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 20-17. Could have been better. Seen a lot of good things. One massive thing that we need to change. We need to make better. We need to figure it out a little bit more, and that's offensive line. But we'll get into it. So I got some notes here. We're gonna dive through it. First quarter of the game. I really liked how we came out. Just kidding, we didn't. We started slow, okay? I'm sick of us starting slow. We start slow every single season, every single game. We just can't get an offense that's moving and grooving and trying to put points on the board. We started way too slow. Way too slow. Another thing, the entire game. This isn't just the first quarter. We need to pick up the blitz better. There was way too much pressure up front from that Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive line, which I knew was going to be a problem going into this game. Vita Vea is an absolute stud. And so is the rest of that defensive line. But there was way too much pressure. Kirk Cousins basically had no time in the pocket to make decisions, to make his reads, to throw the ball downfield. The only time he really felt like he was getting into a rhythm was when he had to roll outside the pocket, and that's not what Kirk Cousins does. That's not what he's known for. He's known to stand in the pocket, make his reads, and throw the ball. That wasn't the case. Even there was multiple times, even when he had to run outside, that he would get, blitzed, or he would get basically he would get tackled. All right, or he would have to make a quick decision because somebody's coming off the edge. They had a corner blitz or something like that. Tampa Bay's defense played phenomenal football against our Minnesota Vikings, and it sucks because we've seen spurts of it where our offense, when they're moving, when they find a rhythm, they can be explosive. They can put points on the board. Jordan Addison, great touchdown in that second quarter, 39-yard touchdown reception, I believe it was, for him, wide open. He is sneaky good. He's going to be awesome for us. I think he's going to take a lot of eyes off of Justin Jefferson, which obviously was the case today because Justin Jefferson, I mean, this dude is an absolute freak of nature. Picked up right where he left off last season. I'm excited to watch him the rest of the year, but 9 catches, 150 yards. No tutties on the day for him, but still pretty decent. Our run game really couldn't get going. Only 34 yards out of Alexander Madison. Kirk Cousins was the second leading runner with seven rushing yards, but that's because, again, that defensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers held us at bay. They knew what it took to win this game, and we didn't, apparently. Okay, that's what happened. Second quarter, we talked about Addison. He's going to be sneaky good, taking a lot of eyes off of Jefferson. And Flores really got that defense going. I loved what I seen out of the defense. We're cooking. Yeah, we have a young secondary. We got beat a couple times, but we're mainly getting beat on those short 3 to 5 yard plays. We've seen it basically in that whole second half. Mike Evans, Chris Godwin had a sneaky good catch to basically seal the deal. So those short to medium routes is where we got to figure it out. We got burned one time by Mike Evans deep, but still, with how young our secondary is, with how much crap everyone was talking about our secondary, I think we're going to be okay. I think we're just fine. The whole defense is going to be just fine. If we can have a healthy Marcus Davenport on the field, he was out the entire game. We missed him. Maybe things look a little different, but at the same time, we got to be better. Okay, we started the game making sure that they weren't converting on third downs. However, that quickly changed in that second half. We just kind of laid an egg there. Then we go into that second half. Game was okay until Jay Ward decided to go off sides. Okay, it would have made it a 13-10 ball game at that point. However, offsides move them half the distance to the goal line. Tampa Bay now scores a touchdown. Now it's 17-10. Okay, we're thinking, all right, whatever. We march down the field. We find a way to get into the end zone. We tied up 17-17. But without that, if he wouldn't have started offsides, we would have had the lead. We would have had momentum going into that fourth quarter. Things would have looked a lot better. That wasn't the case. We can't have that offside penalty. Not too much in the third, other than our offense. Seen one possession that in the third quarter, still starting slow. Can't get into rhythm. Too much pressure allowed up front. Fourth quarter, we were too hesitant on offense to take shots down the field. Kind of looked like we were mailing it in just a little bit. But we can't do that. We have to all gas, no brakes. With how explosive our offense can be, we have got to put points on the board, and that wasn't the case. But I think it goes back to one thing. Offensive line play. Our offensive line was horrible. Completely crap. Terrible. Non-existent. Garrett Bradbury out the entire game with a back injury. Hopefully he gets better. Austin Schlottman had to step in. He did all right. Ed Ingram decided to step on Kirk Cousins' foot right away in that game, causing a fumble. And Kirk Cousins actually had 2 fumbles that both were lost. He's not good. And then you had Christian Darrisaw was banged up a little bit with that ankle injury during the game, but he found a way to tough it out and stuff like that. But one big thing we need to fix is our offensive line. Absolute crap from the offensive line. Has to be better. Kawesi has to fix it. We need to address it. Enough with addressing the wide receivers like we did in training camp. Let's sign 15 of them. No. Fix the issue at hand. Offensive line. If we had a better offensive line, we'd probably win that game. Give Kirk Cousins more time, take a lot of pressure off him. He can make his reads, settle in, get our offense in a rhythm, and that just wasn't the case today. Minnesota loses 20-17. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and yeah, let me know what you thought about that game in the comments. So, Skol Vikes.